A very warm welcome to all our new subscribers. My name is Phillip Day from the Campaign for Truth in Medicine, and you're listening to Up Close and Personal for August 2007. Foot and mouth, here we go again. This nightmare that we saw back in 2001 has now come back to haunt us. Or has it? What is the real truth behind this alleged disease that requires such massive killing on an industrial scale in order to rid it out of the countryside? We have a special report that we prepared back in 2001 called Plague, Pestilence and the Pursuit of Power, one of Steve Ransom's excellent reports. If you've already got his book, Wake Up to Health in the 21st Century, you will have this information. For those of you a little stunned about what's happening these days, go ahead and have a look at that report, Plague, Pestilence and the Pursuit of Power, and get right to the heart of some of the major problems with germ theory. Kids' soda consumption strongly linked to hyperactivity, mental problems. Another big surprise, teenagers who drink more soda, this report states, have more mental health difficulties, including hyperactivity and mental distress, according to a study recently published in the American Journal of Public Health. Dr. McCullough has been on about this for years. Mike Adams of News Target has been on this, and as many of you know, sodas and the high carbon dioxide content and heavy acidity of these beverages can create havoc with the immune system. There's a new device which helps patients to grow back own teeth. Here's some good news for many of us. Scientists have created a device that can make human teeth grow back. The tiny ultrasound machine fits into a patient's mouth on a braces bracket or a removable plastic crown where it gently massages gums and stimulates dental growth from the root. So those of you a little spare in the tooth department, there's hope coming up. Eating more flavonoids extends lifespan, and of course flavonoids are part of the C complex, vitamin C complex. This report reads, flavonoids found in apples, strawberries, bran and even chocolate can reduce cardiovascular disease and coronary heart disease, according to new research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Forced vaccinations for health students down under in Australia. Every single state and territory has instituted policies which require health students to be fully vaccinated before commencing or completing their practical work. A more baleful, idiotic series of measures I have yet to come across. And some of you have already written to me asking what you can do to get around those, and the answer is, unless you can get some sort of exemption on religious grounds, not much. Australia has a Darth Vader brigade that passes for a regulatory agency, the TGA, and of course their medical system down there is probably on a par with Britain's and America's for sheer destructiveness of the people it's supposed to be watching out for. Phoning a patient in hospital can cost more than ringing Australia. Here's a big surprise. The large provider of bedside phones on UK health service wards has scrapped a sharp increase, but there will be no reduction in the exorbitant charge of 49p a minute for friends and relatives to call patients. At least Jesse James had a mask. A special article on the Buteyko breathing technique. Are we breathing too much? Can reducing the amount we breathe actually benefit our health? There's an excellent article in from that. Over the Rainbow. Have a look at this Dr. McCullough short intro to his website and book. It's superb, and it talks about how doctors have now become the leading cause of death in America. And elsewhere, of course, the problems still mount. And everything the Campaign for Truth stands for is at the heart of common sense in its approach to health, watching out what we eat. This isn't food fascism. It's the understanding that what you do most of the time is what's going to affect the outcome of your health. The Cancer Cure That Can Kill. This is a poignant article featured in the Mail on radiotherapy and the hidden dangers that most people are not told about, or if they do sign disclaimers, it's in there in the small print. And have a read of the sad story. I think it's Jan Millington who is now campaigning for the public to be made aware of the problems of these types of treatments. The weekly health tip is all about juicing. Good news on the radiation front. Orange, the mobile phone company, is to take down a phone mast because in spite of recent denials saying, oh, radiation from phones and masts is not affecting health, they take down a mast from flats after 7 residents are struck down with cancer. So the odds of that happening in one tower block are actually pretty remote. New Zealand subscribers, your government and health agencies are locked in this whole expansion of health powers that are to regulate the natural health supplements and everything in your country. Please, please, please look at this article and support the organisation down there who is doing everything possible on your behalf to make sure that fair play is observed for all. And lastly, many of you know I'm doing a curtailed cancer talk around the UK and Ireland. This is supposed to be our year off, but there's just so much good living that a man can have before he has to get back on the road again. So do try to make this along. This is not the standard cancer talk. We're getting into the whole mind-body connection. Some of you came to my presentation in Dorking entitled Ghost in the Machine. It was an all-day presentation where we were looking at a lot of the amazing work of people like Bruce Lipton, William Tiller, Cleve Baxter and others in assessing the mind-body connection and how it can affect health, and more importantly how it can help heal, especially people who have been written off by the establishment and sent home to die. That series, by the way, will be on a 4 CD collection that should be out, don't hold me to this, but should be out in about 8 weeks' time. Lastly, Campaign for Truth in Europe. This whole business of the referendum on this, again, more baleful attempts to put through the old constitution. They've changed a few of the words. It's essentially the old wolf dressed up in more sheep's clothing. We need to take a stand. Some of you have said to me the unwritten constitution says we should not even have to have a referendum on this because it's illegal for politicians to do this. Do not hold that point of view, because the referendum is the only public way that we're going to be able to get this thing turned around. Sitting indoors saying this shouldn't be happening anyway is not changing the full facts of the matter. So find out about that, and that's it. Go ahead and have a great summer with my permission. Hope you're all well. If I can do anything to help, I'm always on the phones between 9 and 12. That's most weekdays. You can call me +44 if you're outside the UK, 1622 or 01622 if you're in the UK, 832 386. Have fun, and we'll talk to you in September. Bye-bye.